Okay, well then that leads us to Sasha.
Okay, thank you for taking my question. I have a question. I'm a visual artist and I'm kind of branching out into healing, and I've been doing it for about a year and a half. So it's still a new business. I understand the visual arts very well, but this is new for me. And I have two different separate Instagram accounts, and
Mm.
I guess I used to have it together and I would advertise everything, but then I just felt like I should separate it because my thing is that I want to look like I'm a very serious visual artist, but
Right.
then I also want to look like I'm a serious healer. And so my question is about
Mm.
marketing. Like right now, I just had decided, okay, I'm just going to market to the different ones. But
Right.
I'm wondering, I have like almost 2,000 people on my art account versus the
Mm.
like almost 200 on my healing. Like, so I was thinking like maybe stories, but I don't know. It gets tricky because
Mm.
I know that not everyone in my art account is my ideal client at all for healing, but
Yeah.
maybe there's a few. So,
Okay. I mean, this is just my gut sense is I would keep them separate. I think that's smart. But one of the things you can weave into it is the occasional plug for the other one.
mhm.
Like once a month, you do a post. It's like, hey, welcome to the new folks. Or at certain milestones, like, hey, we're at we just hit 3,000 members. And so welcome to the new members. One of the things you may not know about me is I also do this healing practice of this type and this Instagram account. Go check it out. Um, so you do that once a month, once a quarter, just a little nudge over there, and vice versa. Hey, you know my healing work, but you don't know the painting work. Um, so I think I would just figure out a rhythm in which you do that.
Okay.
And now
Sounds,
do
I
you have
was doing it in the stories a lot because at least the stories aren't they don't
right?
stay. So that
Right.
was one thing that I had, and then but then I was like, yeah, but I like that idea of just once in a while, just giving a little bit.
Yeah, one I think it's sometimes better than a lot of little like on the side, like, hey, by the way, I've got this thing, is one very serious,
Okay.
shameless plug. Because sometimes we try to fit these things in or mention them and sneak them around, but sometimes better just to be direct and say, hey, everyone, I've got this thing. Do you have two different email lists for those two?
I do, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
very different. And I don't send email lists for my art. Like I have a big long list, but I rarely send it out. Just like maybe once a year, once every 2 years when I have a solo show.
I might
But the
consider
other one I send more.
I
Yeah.
might consider doing once a quarter, just
Okay.
staying in touch more. Um, yeah. And then what you could do is also in those like once a quarter emails, there's just like PS in my healing work, here's what's happening. And here's a link to my Instagram. And here's if you want to join that list or learn more about my healing, or just click reply and let me know.
Mhm.
But I would probably once a quarter, um, because sometimes that's with the art. It's you can even pull from your Instagram, like, hey everybody, want to give you some updates. Nothing to sell right now. Working on everything for the next show, but here's some photos of the work in progress. And you can go check out these reels or this on Instagram. Uh, just a wee update. I think once a quarter is, probably you get minimal unsubscribes or, but I
Mhm.
mean, try it out. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, okay, thank you. One other thing too, and maybe this is like not ethical, but it's
Mhm.
because I've been at the art for a long time and I used to not do any of my own marketing because I have gallerists who do that.
Yeah.
But I do have a long list and I don't have them in like an actual newsletter. And part of
Yeah.
it is also like, well, how much do I even have their permission to be sending them emails? So that's the,
Yeah. There's basically two choices. And at a certain point, you just got to kind of make the call. One choice is you add them all and you just email them. You say, hey, you bought my art at one point and I've created an email list. And this first email is just to unsubscribe if you want to unsubscribe. No pressure. Um, I'm rolling the dice. I kind of figured you'd probably be interested, and I can totally understand. No hard feelings if you're not, or just don't want to be another email list. Here's the button to unsubscribe. So that first email is just to invite people to go off. And
Okay.
like, here's what'll be in the newsletter. Here's what you'll get from me. Maybe special deals, maybe whatever it is that would be compelling for them to pay attention. And it's like, and if you're not interested, that's fine. You can just follow me on Instagram, and then here's a link to my Instagram because some people would prefer to follow you there. And then I would say the next few emails in the PS just make it really obvious, like, hey, we may need to break up. It's totally okay. Not every relationship lasts. This may have just been a fling that we had one time, and we'll just remember it fondly. But just click the unsubscribe button below if you want to leave, and I'll write sad poems about you for a while. Like, you can have these PSs that just, and because then what happens is like, oh, okay, everybody who's on this list wants to be on this list.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I have that with the healing and it does make me feel a lot better. The other one, yeah, it's a little more just I send like I once again I rarely send like once every
I see. Yeah.
2 years. But now if I want to do it, like I like that idea of what you're suggesting to just have it a bit like less on the down low and more in the open. Like this is an email list and please
Yeah.
unsubscribe if it's not working.
Yeah, and then the other option two, is you just email them and say, look, if you'd like to be up to date on when new paintings come out from me, here's the list you join. You'll just get less response, that's for sure. It'll be more ethical in terms of like the permission laws and everything. It really depends what your relationship is with these people. Like, there are certain people. I remember promoting somebody who was touring through town, and I had a list of people who I absolutely did not have their consent to put on a list, but I just thought, they'll forgive me. They know me. They love me. They'll completely be fine with this. And you may also go through the emails and divide it up like that. I guess that's option three. Is like, these people I feel totally fine adding to the email list, and the other ones I'm going to invite them to subscribe. You could do that as well. I mean, I would just meditate with it.
Okay.
It's
I
not.
think
Yeah,
the emails are it's the art world. So I think that, in some ways I do have a relationship with them all. It's just yeah,
sure.
on a more regular basis, not necessarily.
Okay. There you
Yeah,
go.
but thank you. That's
Yeah,
helpful.
yeah, you're
That from
welcome.
a, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah.